Oh, dang it. Woo! Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers, Season 2, Episode 20 of my show, but this is about Episode 19 of Season 2. Now, Episode 19 in the original Power Rangers second season is known as 2 for 1. But before I actually start talking about it, I just want to mention something. Since we're on Episode 19, that technically means, let's see, going by 2, that means 19, 20, 21, and then 22. We got 4 more videos left until we get to episode 22, and once we do get to episode 22, that means that technically, we will have about 30 more videos, because if you go by the 2 and stuff, I just wanted 30 more videos left of the second season to do YouTube-wise. I just thought I'd mention that before I actually start talking. Now, getting into the actual episode, this is History of Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 20 of my show, but this is about Episode 19 of Season 2. And Episode 19 of Season 2 is in the original Power Rangers second season, is known as 2 for 1. But before I start talking, I just want to clear up a little bit of confusion. It's called 2 for... I'm going to explain why it's called 2 for 1. It's because of the fact that Zedd's going to create 2 monsters this time. And I'll explain why later on. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, getting into the actual episode. Kimberly shows up in the youth center where Trini is, and then basically what happens is Kimberly is asking Trini how she looks in this, and then Trini tells her that she looks adorable, basically, and she said that Tommy's gonna like it because they basically have this dating apart kind of thing, her and Tommy. And then basically what happens is she sees Kimberly's mother's purse. Well, actually, after Trini tells her that Tommy's gonna enjoy like it when they go on their little date, Kimberly said that she stood in her closet for basically an hour thinking about what to wear, and then that's when Trini inquires about the purse, and then like she asks her if that's her mother's purse that she told her about, and then basically she said that's correct, and then basically she tells Trini that basically she took it on her mom took it on her first date with her dad and stuff, and she promised she wouldn't let it out of her sight, and then basically after that Trini tells Kimberly that she's got the lipstick she wanted. Now I'm just going to explain about the lipstick and the purse, because both of those two objects are going to play a hand in Zedd's latest monster. The purse is basically, it's just it's a little carrying case, like one of those see-through purses, like a plastic purse that has that's like a container with a handle attached, and the lipstick is in a form of red lipstick, and this is gonna sound kind of funny, but anyway, apparently the lipstick is called Siren Song Red, which, I'm sorry, that's just so funny. I just thought I'd mention it. And then, basically, after Kimberly sees that Trini got the lipstick that she wanted, she's thanking her for that, and then she's reading what it says, and it says basically, as I said, Siren Song Red. And then Trini says that, can she believe that? Yeah, can she believe that? And then Ritchie basically shows up, and then he gives Trini and Kimberly basically 2 diet sodas, and then after that, Trini's thanking him for that, but then they're saying about Siren Song Red, who comes up with some sense for lipstick and stuff, which I gotta admit, that's also a little kind of funny. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And this episode is actually, this episode, I'm gonna mention this very quickly. This is actually the first episode where we kind of see a little bit of communication towards Trini, and by communication I mean they actually talk, like her and Ritchie, they talk. Basically, Ritchie asks Trini if she'd like to study with him later for the test, and then she said sure she'd like that, and then Ritchie basically says that he liked that too, and then Trini's basically saying goodbye, and then basically what happens is after that, Tommy shows up, and then he's telling Kimberly that she looks beautiful, and then basically what happens is she's thanking him for that, and she's asking him if he's ready to go, and then he said that it's only 11 o'clock, he still hasn't gone to change, but then they look at the clock on the other end, and then when Tommy sees the clock on the other end, he realizes that he forgot to wind up his watch. Oh my god! And in this case, it's a communicator, so I don't know if it has a clock thing on it, but he forgot to wind it up, which I think is a kind of funny. Anyway, so he's apologizing to Kimberly after that, and he tells her that he'll just run home very quickly and change, and he'll be back before she knows it, and then she said that's okay, and then Tommy runs off on his own, and then he runs off on his own to go to his house to get changed, and then it goes into a scene where Zedd is, and then after Zedd sees that, he's like, so teenage love is in the air. How sickening. And then Squat and Babu are like, Babu's like, oh, yucky. And then, well, actually, I think it's Squat that says the yucky. And then Babu says the segment after that. And then Goldar is asking his master to basically, he's asking him to please allow him to break, like he's like, please let me break their hearts, master. Like he's asking that to allow him to be the one to, I think what he means in this case is, by break their hearts, is he means that he wants to destroy the Rangers for his master, and then after that Zedd comes up with this plan, and then he's like, with the extra ranger, we need an extra monster to turn their dream date into a nightmare. Now, basically what he means by, I'm just going to explain what he means by that, because basically what he means by that was up until this point, after Tommy's Green Ranger powers were taken away in the Green No More 2-part episode, and up until the White Light 2-part episode, I think, because you see, in the series, after that 2-part episode, there were 5 Rangers, but now there's 6 again, like there was at the beginning, so because of the extra Ranger being added, he feels that they need a new monster, a second monster to combat the Rangers, which tactically, personally, it makes sense. Tactically, in a sense, it makes perfect sense for him to want to do that because there were 5 Rangers before, but now there's 6 again, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. And then Kimberly and Tommy are in the park having their day, and then after that, after a little bit of scenes where I see them playing, then it goes back to where Zedd is, and then Zedd's like, the Pink Ranger's purse will make an excellent monster. But then Goldar is telling his master that he agrees with him about the purse being the first monster, but he wonders about, he wonders about what the second creature is. He's like, yes, but what about the second creature? Well, he was wondering about the second monster, and then Zedd basically tells him that, well, actually, Goldar's like, yes, but what about the second creature? Because he's inquiring to his master about the second monster, and then Zedd's intrigued by that, and he tells Goldar to leave that to him. And basically what he means is he wants Goldar to send, he tells Goldar that, hold on. Leave that to me. Send my putties to steal that purse, and from its contents, I'll make another monster just for you, Goldar. And basically, after that, Goldar tells his master that basically with 2 monsters, they'll get the Rangers this time, which kind of makes sense, because if there are 2 monsters to deal with instead of 1, it might be a little bit difficult. And then then Goldar sends Zedd's putties down to the park to deal with Kimberly and Tommy. And then when Kimberly sees the putties, she said that she knew this day was going too well. And then Tommy asks her if he can have this dance. And then basically after that, what happens is they start fighting the putties, and then after that, while they're fighting some of the other putties, one of the putties manages to get away with Kimberly's mom's purse, and then after that, the putty that took the purse teleports back to away from where the purse was, where he took it from, and then after that, that's like, excellent work, putties. Now it's time for the Power Rangers to meet Pursehead. And basically, Pursehead is the first of his 2 monsters that he summons out. Oh, now that I've gotten into... I should have mentioned this with the thing with the putty, but I'm just going to mention it now, and then I'm going to get back into that segment. When the putty demolecularized, he teleported back to where Zedd was, he dropped the lipstick and the purse, and the lipstick landed on the grass. I just wanted to get that small detail out of the way since I missed it. And then basically, as I said, Zedd is telling his putties, excellent work, putties. And now it's time for the Power Rangers to meet Pursehead. So he transforms Kimberly's mom's purse into the Pursehead monster. And then, before they start fighting it, Kimberly's wondering where her mom's purse is, because it's gone, and then Tommy basically tells Kimberly that she doesn't have to worry because they'll get it back, and then the Pursehead monster tells them that there's no need for them to search, the purse has found them. And then basically what happens is Kimberly is telling Tommy how is she ever going to explain this to him, how about her purse being transformed into a monster, and then Tommy basically tells her that they'll get it back, so they morph to their ranger forms to deal with the Pursehead monster, And then basically what happens is after that, the person monster makes a little joke where he said that, don't they look, he tells Tommy and Kimberly that don't they look fierce and have a look for themselves, and he brings out this compact mirror. Now the compact mirror is actually, technically in a sense, it's kind of a freeze ray. Now what I mean by that is it doesn't freeze the bodies, but it freezes the person's mind, which in a sense also freezes the body, because if the mind's frozen then the body can't move. And then when Zedd sees what the person monster did to Kimberly and Tommy, he's like, yes, yes! And then his other minions are getting ecstatic about that, and then basically, but before I continue, I just want to get back into the beginning segment of the episode. I'm just going to backtrack because of with Bulk and Skull very quickly here, because I kind of skipped it. But basically they're using this kind of like a metal detector device called the Power Ranger detector to lead them straight to the Power Rangers. Now Bulk explains to them that it's built by his cousin Waldo, who's a student at Angel Grove Tech. I just wanted to backtrack there because the Power Ranger detector thing is also going to cause a bit of a funny ending, sarcastically, with the Rangers afterward. Anyway, I just thought I'd get that out of the way. I guess I should have did that when I did the beginning segment, but it slipped my mind up until this moment. So my apologies about that. Anyway, after lead person monster manages to freeze Tommy and Kimberly using the compact rays, that's like, yes, yes! And then his other minions are happy about that as well. And then basically, then Zedd's like, now a surprise for the other power pests! Lipstick monster, arise! Now, the lipstick monster is a monster called Lipsyncer, which is kind of a funny name. Now, and it's created from the Siren Song Red lipstick that Trini gave Kimberly. And then when the monster is created, she said that where are the gorgeous Power Rangers? She just wants to get them all to pieces. And then the Rangers, then Jason and Zach are in the youth center doing this little slap thing, and then basically that's when their communicators go off, and then basically what happens is after that, is Jason answers Zordon on his communicator, and then Zordon tells the Rangers to teleport to the command center because they have a situation like an emergency. And then Jason tells Zach that they've got to get Billy and Trini as well. And then in the next scene they're in the command center, and then basically what happens is Zordon is explaining to the Rangers that as they can see from the images on the viewing, as they can tell, Kimberly and Tommy have had their date in the park interrupted, and then Jason sees the segment in the episode in the early segment of the episode on the viewing globe where, and by early segment I mean the segment where they were fighting it, but the person monster froze it, because I think the viewing globe showed what happened before they showed up, so that's just what I think. Anyway, after Jason sees that Kimberly and Tommy get frozen, he's asking Zordon why they aren't moving, and then Zordon explains to the rest of the Rangers and Jason that their minds basically have been frozen by the compact ray. And then when Zach overhears the frozen part, he said that's brutal. And then basically Zordon is explaining to the Rangers that Zedd's latest monster, Pursehead, has many weapons at its disposal. And then Billy says in a scientific sense where he tells the Rangers that basically the multiple arsenal must come from the paraphernalia in the receptacle from which it was created. And then Zach wonders what that means, and then Trini just explains to them about what Billy said. Like, basically, its weapons must come from the things that were contained inside the purse, inside Kimberly's mother's purse, which kind of makes sense personally, because if the object in question had stuff in it when it was created, it's obvious that the monster would have some advantages, some weapons to fight the Rangers with. I just wanted to get that out of the way. And then Billy says precisely, and then the alarm goes off again, and then Zordon tells the Rangers that Zedd has created a second monster from the contents of Kimberly's purse. And then when the Rangers when Trini sees that, she wonders if that must be the lipstick she lent Kimberly. And then basically, Zordon says that Trini's correct. Lipsyncer's voice emits powerful sound waves that can destroy anything in their path. And then Jason says that Lipsyncer is all his. Like, he tells Zordon that Lipsyncer is all his, and then Zach is telling him no because he doesn't want to be the one to, but in this case it kind of makes sense that they have to, because Zordon kind of makes up a battle plan with them where Trini and Billy have to work with Alpha to construct a device to reverse the effects from Perseid's compact ray. And then Jason said that Zach can go and help Tommy and Kimberly, and then Jason says to Zach that if he needs his help, he'll call him. He promises him that, and then basically Zach tells Jason that he better, and then Zordon tells the Rangers to go and let the power protect them, and then they morph to their Ranger forms to deal with, Jason and Zach morph to their Ranger forms in order to deal with the separate situations. And Zach goes to deal with the Perseid monster, and he brings out his power axe, and then basically what happens is he tells the Perseid to come on, but then Perseid tells him gladly, but first reflect on this, which is basically leads him into a trap by using the same method he did. And then when Alpha sees that, he tells them that he's like, ay, Zach's in trouble too. And then he tells Billy and Trini that Perseid has frozen Zach. And then basically what happens is after that, the Rangers basically, Billy tells Trini that he needs more power to complete his calculations for his device. And then Trini tells Billy that the system is already at maximum capacity, but she'll try. And then Zordon tells Alpha to make sure that the hydro generator doesn't overload, but then Trini tells Zordon that they are already in overload, and then it goes into the scene where Jason is fighting the Lipsyncer monster, and then the Lipsyncer monster uses its music tone to basically cause Jason to fall on the ground, and then basically what happens is she makes a little bit of a music pun where she tells Jason that as the Red Ranger, that he can't face the music, and then he swings his sword at her, which causes a cut to come up on her face, and then she's like, "Ah, my beautiful face, how could you?" And then when Zedd sees that segment, he's like, enough of this foolish vanity! I'll stop that miserable creature's complaining. Grow and destroy the Red Ranger. Now basically, that's when he summons up his potion to make the Lipsyncer monster grow, and then Jason summons the Red Dragon Thunderzord to deal with the Lipsyncer monster, and then after that, Lipsyncer is telling Jason to surrender because he's no match for her. Time to kiss this world goodbye, au revoir, and then she does the musical thing, and then she tells him that he's so entertaining after she knocks him down, and then the rest of the Rangers are looking, like Billy and Trini are looking at through the calculations again, and then after that they're seeing what's happening with Jason on the viewing globe, and then Trini says that they gotta help. Well, first when Alpha sees that Zordon is explaining that Red Ranger power systems are overloading, and then basically Trini tells Billy that they gotta do something because Jason's helpless out there, and then but Billy informs her that they'll destroy their entire system if they try to elevate the power even more. So, and then after that, what basically happens is when Zedd sees the Red Ranger about to be destroyed, well, first what happens is Billy manages to finish his device, and he tells Trini that basically his device was a little rushed, but he's sure he can get it to work. And then so he and Trini morph to free the others from Perseid's compact ray, and then after they do that, Zordon contacts Tommy on the communicator, and then Tommy informs the rest of the Rangers that Jason needs their help because Lipsyncer is proving too powerful for him to fight on his own. And then basically what happens is Tommy said that he reads Zordon on that, and he tells them that he can handle Perseid by himself. But then Kimberly basically wonders if Tommy's gonna be, is he sure he's gonna be okay to deal with the Perseid monster alone? And then he tells them that absolutely, and they have to go help Jason deal with Lipsyncer. And then basically, well, first what happens is after they were freed, the Perseid monster kind of insulted them, where he said that they were only prolonging the inevitable, their destruction. And then after that, that's when Zordon contacted Tommy, and after he was explaining to them about the situation with the Red Ranger, Tommy basically explained that he could handle Perseid on his own. And then as I said, Kimberly wondered if Tommy can deal with Perseid, if he's sure he can handle him on his own. And then basically what happens is, as I said, he tells her that absolutely they have to go to help Jason. So they teleport to where Jason is, and he deals with Perseid alone. And then Perseid tells the White Ranger that basically he's more trouble than he can handle. And then Tommy basically insults him, where he said that he thinks he's the one that's in trouble. And then basically the Perseid monster makes a dentist-based pun where he said, "Didn't your mother ever teach you to floss after every meal?" And then he uses this floss rope, and then when Zedd sees that, he's like, soon the White Ranger will be finished, and then the other Rangers will soon be crushed. and then the other fools will soon be crushed. And then basically Perseid is telling Tommy that should he have some more fun before he destroys them, and then basically Tommy is asking Saba for help, and then Saba manages to free Tommy from the Perseid's rope, and he manages to defeat the Perseid monster, and then once he does, the Perseid monster changes back into Kimberly's purse, and then he realizes that all of the objects that were in the purse are still there except for the lipstick. And then when Zedd sees that thing, I think he's a little upset that he lost, because he's like, White Ranger may have won, but the other Rangers are doomed. And then Goldar says yes, and then basically Zedd tells the Rangers, Zedd tells his minions that he will have the pleasure of watching his unstoppable lipstick monster crush the other Rangers into multicolored specks of power dust. And then Goldar basically says that he agrees with his master. The rest of the Rangers are no match for Lipsyncer's powers. And then Zedd said that victory will be his. And then after that, what basically happens is the rest of the Rangers manage to summon the Zords, and they deal with the Perseid monster. And then when they're flying with the Zords, not combined, Zedd sees that, he's like, impossible! I can't believe it! And then Pebu's asking that he wants to ride, and then Squat wonders where he get a ticket, and then they manage to basically defeat the Perseid monster, and then Zedd gets upset that he lost again. And then at the end of the episode, what basically happens is Kimberly is thanking Tommy for getting her mom's purse back, because it meant so much to her. And then Tommy says that he's also glad that they taught Zedd some respect for other people's stuff. And then that's when Bulk and Skull come out of the water, because I'm just backtracking here. When tracking the Rangers' location, they ended up in the water, and then they came out, and then they see these kids, and then basically they asking the kids if they've seen the Power Rangers, and then basically the kids are saying that they want to play, and then Skull wonders if he can be the Red Ranger, and then basically the rest of the Rangers in their human forms are, I think it's kind of sarcasm when they tell Bulk and Skull, where they say that they finally did it, they found the Power Rangers, and then they start laughing, and that's basically where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I probably am going to post it today. So if you guys like it when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys probably sometime next week for the next video. So until then, guys, like I always tell you with this series, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.